Yo, what's up, guys? And welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews. And today, strap in, boys, because we're talking about my game of the decade. Kind of late, and I should have did this review when the show was popping. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, including the Ultimate Edition, including its two DLCs, Hearthstone and Blood and Wine. The greatest entertainment value pack worth your time and money in one. If you want a good story where your decisions matter and every character is interesting and the world has great lore and the writing is insane and there's cool combat and interesting bosses, and look at me just rambling on and on. It's just a great game. We all know, we've all heard about The Witcher, but not only is there just The Witcher games that we can all talk about, there's 7 or so books. I'm probably way off, but there's a lot of books. There's a Witcher TV show going on right now, played fabulously by Henry Cavill, Geralt of Rivia, one of the coolest characters of all time, funny as hell, dry humor. Um, Got them all over the place. The Witcher 3 is a third-person open-world game. I'm not a huge fan of open-world games. I mean, they are what they are, but they're huge worlds that are just so fucking open to me. Uh, Obviously. But The Witcher is definitely one worth playing, of course. If you like the show, you might as well play the game. Go watch my show review if you're interested. Um, Recently, PlayStation came out with the game of their decade, and I guess it was The Last of Us, which is fair. I did a Last of Us review as well. Great game, but Witcher 3 is gonna be at the top of my list of all time. I think for a long time. Um, it's one of my favorites. I would say it's a personal favorite. It's a lot of people's favorites. CD Projekt Red, the developers behind this game, take are the most consumer friendly company ever, and they deserve to be supported. Everyone should be hyped for Cyberpunk 2077. The Witcher is like, imagine the Fallout world, not really the Fallout world, but the way Fallout is played, with amazing writing, and instead of like a slideshow at the end of the game to see how your endings happen, you experience it, and you have good endings and bad endings, and all the side characters have their great explanations together. And when you're playing as Geralt, you level up and have these cool skill trees with the 5 signs you use. There's like force push, uh, fireball, mind control, a shield you can have on, and some circle defense for witches and shit like that. Anyway, what The Witcher is you play as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter, a Witcher is a monster hunter, and you're on your quest finding Ciri, your bound by daughter. Basically, you're not really your daughter, but you're bound to this person by fate. And in this is a huge fantasy world, vampires, werewolves, all types of weird, crazy monsters and witches. Things like a godling named Johnny is just awesome. Uh, Side quests like the Red Baron story is nuts to me, and I had such a terrible ending to that story. And then The Witcher adds on to its DLCs. First one being Hearts of Stone, with some of the greatest voice acting, and I've seen. It's very underrated. I feel like the voice acting in that, the character Olgarid, and Gaunter O'Dim, a character that was just sitting in the bar at the beginning of the original game, but then they turned him into an insanely powerful uh, force of to be reckoned with in the for a whole DLC that is like 15-20 hours long, and all your decisions matter, and it's very rewarding at the end. Then you get the Blood and Wine DLC with its own map. It's huge map, all new quests, side quests, monsters, armor, all types of shit. You put in a fantasy fairyland where you fight like you're like Humpty Dumpty, but like a dark version and shit like that. I can't even begin to go on. And you can retire as girl and live life and own a house and be married to Yennefer or Trish or whoever you want. Not whoever you want, but Yennefer or Trish. And you can bang a lot of women in the game, sorceresses, and dandelions in the game, and Roach. And just I could just go on. I know I'm rambling. I don't know if anyone's gonna like the way this video is styled or not, but it's just The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a great game. You can usually get that game and its DLCs for $15 to $10 on sale. If you have to wait for that, I would, I guess. But you could spend $100 on this bundle and it'd be worth it. But yeah, the $15 is probably the greatest deal in history, or $10 for over 120 hours of content, of really good content, of great world. I guess I stop just completely praising the game and talk about some of its faults. Long loading screens when you die. Don't die, you'll be fine. No, but it's, I mean, the game has got some challenge to it. It's not the easiest game in the world. It's not at all, actually. But so yeah, I would say loading screens are very bad. Since you have like a firepower, you can light random candles around the map a lot. It's extinguish with X, and it's the same button used to loot or do anything really. So you're constantly lighting fucking candles on when you don't mean to. Yep, that's one of the only other complaints. And um, a lot of people complain about the way Roach works. It's kind of an older game, and I prefer Witcher horse riding compared to Red Dead realism horse riding, where you fall off all the fucking time. No, I prefer to just like half-ass like go forward through trees with Roach. I don't know. That's just me. Uh, yeah. What else can I praise this game for? I don't know. It's great music. Oh man, the music is superb. Just great background noise. There's like a whole concert with this shorty named Priscilla, where she sings this song, and it's just beautiful. Uh, it's just one of the most remarkable things ever. Many beautiful scenes. The side quest. This game is known for having side quests feel like real story missions. Like your side quest could be it could be a campaign on its own. You know, it's there. Everything's important. Everything you do feels like it matters. It's important. It's interesting. You know, it's not always what it seems to be. Things aren't black and white. A lot of everything is gray in a really torn world where monsters aren't the only monsters. You know, humans are pretty terrible too, and Geralt has to, you know, balance that in his life, and find Ciri and protect her and find out what's happening with her. And she's like exploding up at certain parts and has insane powers, and just what a great story. There's 3 different endings. I think I got a good ending, but you can get a bad ending and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. My game of the decade. There's a lot of entertainment that comes with The Witcher. It's easy to get into. Get into it with your friends. I've been replaying some of it and watching my friends play it for the first time, and it's been really interesting. It's fun. Witcher is great, man. It's definitely gonna go on the top of my list, all-time gaming list. Final verdict, easily a 10 out of 10. Badass seal of approval, as Angry Joe would say. But this genuinely gets it. Very long, great game. Didn't drag. It just, I can't strive it enough. Love the music too. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. 10 out of 10 game here. I think this is my second 10 out of 10 on the channel, along with The Last of Us Remastered. So, yep. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.